Joining us now to discuss, founder and CEO of Liberty Sentinel Media and co-author of the book Crimes of the Educators, How Utopians Are Using Government Schools to Destroy America's Children, Alex Newman. Thanks so much for being back with us. It's great to see you.
Great to be here. Thanks so much, Allison.
Of course. So, Alex, the attempt to normalize pedophilia has never been more blatant. I mean, we're seeing it pushed in Hollywood now more than ever. But in case you're still skeptical and needed further evidence of this, just look to the UN. Because now they're stating in their very own documents, and I quote, "Schools must equip children to have sexual partners." Then they go on to say it aims to equip children to develop sexual relationships and helps children form relationships with sexual partners. Alex, why is this happening, and why should the UN have any say in this manner?
I think the reason why it's happening, Allison, is that we are dealing with evil. I think a lot of people are under the impression that we're just dealing with people who have strange ideas, bad ideas. The reality is this is actually evil in the truest sense. Now, the Bible has some harsh words for people on this. Actually, Jesus said it'd be better for these people who are harming children, who are corrupting children, to have a millstone tied around their neck and to be cast into the sea. That's how serious God takes these things. But it's not a new agenda. In fact, some years ago, almost 5 years ago now, the United Nations, the UNESCO, their education agency, released sex education standards for children, calling for some of the most horrific things imaginable when children are 5 years old. They want to start sexualizing kids when they're 5. And we know one of the next destinations here on this crazy train is the normalization of pedophilia. Now, a few years ago in California, they were starting to use this mandatory LGBT law to start teaching children across California about pedophilia when it comes to ancient Greece and young boys. Well, some of them got called out on this. I actually got a video from a concerned mother in California who confronted the assistant superintendent of curriculum in the Brea Olinda district. And she said, "Why are you teaching my kids about pedophilia?" And incredibly, the assistant superintendent did not deny that they were teaching pedophilia. Said, "Well, this is just a different sexual orientation that has existed in history. And so it's very important that we teach it." That's almost verbatim what the response was. And so we already know, according to the Supreme Court, you can't discriminate against someone based on their sexual orientation. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out where this goes. They want to normalize pedophilia. They want to legalize pedophilia. Eventually, if we're just going to be blunt about it, they want to have sex with your children, and they must be stopped. They will be stopped.
Yeah, it truly, truly is sickening, and I just can't even believe we have to even talk about this, but sadly, this is where we're at. Now, in other news, we have French President Emmanuel Macron, who recently defended this horrific painting titled F, Abstraction, which basically depicts, as you can see here, a nude male forcing a child to perform lewd acts. Now, this occurred after protesters opposed to pedophilia threw paint on the image, and, I'm not one who condones vandalism. However, I think this may be an exception. Are you at all surprised that Macron supports this type of so-called art, and how do we ultimately defeat this?
I'm not surprised at all about Macron. He is a globalist, tried and true. He actually used to work at the Rothschild mega bank. He's been very closely involved with the World Economic Forum. I mean, this guy's globalist pedigree is absolutely impeccable. He's been into perversion for a long time. And he has openly and repeatedly called for a new world order, a one world order. And what you find is that these two streams run very closely together. I think what we should make of it is that the fact that these people are bold enough to come out now and start publicly defending things should be really alarming, but I don't think it's going to work out the way they think it will. I think these people are under the delusion that if they just try to normalize it, that we are now far gone enough as a culture, as a society, that parents and adults are just going to passively accept it. I think they're wrong. I think as more and more Americans and even Europeans start seeing where this crazy train is going, they are going to start speaking out, and they are going to put a stop to it.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.